Hey guys, I'm editing the video now and I just wanted to pop in here. I sound out of breath throughout the whole video, but I have asthma, and so when I'm really sick with it, talking is kind of hard, and I don't ever let that stop me, but I just wanted to give you guys a fair warning if I sound out of breath. Yes, I'm excited, but it's mostly because my asthma is acting up right now. So anyway, into the video. Hi guys, and welcome to another book haul. I'm Kat, and this is A Soul Full of Books. So I am recording this book haul 3 days after my last book haul. I'm hoping to spread them out when I post them, but yes. I don't have a problem. I'm a book collector. So, whatever. I have a book outlet order. I will not be unboxing it. I was too impatient and I opened it myself. So I kept the box. I have an Amazon order. Actually, I have a couple of Amazon orders and some books I found yesterday at a thrift store. So let's get started. All right, I have my book outlet order. So we can dive on in. All of these books I have not read except one. And that is Shattered Souls by Mary Lindsay. It came in the book outlet order, and I sometimes let my fiance pick my next book to read just because it would take me forever, and we were headed upstairs for the night, and long story short, he picked this book out for me, and I have like 40 pages left. It's good, but I'm not going to give you guys a review just because I take like a couple of days after I've read a book to truly come down from the high of reading, exit the world, and kind of get my thoughts in order. So this is my first book. So this book is about a girl named Lindsay, and she hears voices. She's really afraid that she's going crazy. Her father recently committed suicide due to schizophrenia, and she's really worried that's what's happening to her. Until she meets Alden. Alden is her protector, and basically he tells her she's not going crazy. There is a society of souls that are reborn together every generation that help hindered spirits move on. And she goes through this process of learning how to be a speaker, which is the part of the duo who helps hindered spirits along. She can speak to them, she can hear them, she can invite them into her body, but we do find out that there are some downsides, some pretty evil downsides to being a speaker, and Alden, her protector, has to hold her hand throughout this lifetime because she has no memory of any of her previous lifetimes. So it's a really good book. I would recommend picking it up, and I will have a final review on it soon. Okay, now diving into the books I have not read. This is my first book outlet order, and I am so excited. You guys, it got here in a pretty reasonable amount of time. I ordered it on a Friday, and it got here on a Tuesday. All right, so the first book in here is Flawed by Cecilia Ahern. I really hope I'm saying these names right. I am not the best at that. Celestine North lives a perfect life. She's a model daughter and sister, and she's well liked by her classmates and teachers. She's also a girl of logic. To Celestine, every problem has a solution. Every action is either right or wrong. Celestine has always known about the flawed, second-class citizens who are branded as punishment for their crimes, and she always thought they must deserve their punishment. But everything changes when Celestine witnesses the mistreatment of a flawed man and steps up to help him. But in helping him, she reveals that she is imperfect. And in Celestine's society, imperfection is punished. She is imprisoned, she is branded, and she is flawed. You guys, everything I want in a book was just told to me. She stands up for injustice and she's punished. They had this on Book Outlet. They also had the second book of the series, but I want to give this one a try first before I purchase another. That's just kind of how I am. I want to give the first book a try before I buy too many other books. Alright, so the next book in this box is Unholy. This is the second book in the Unwind series by Neal Shusterman. I believe I went over that book in my first book haul, and since this is a sequel, I don't want to read the back just because I don't want to spoil it for anybody, but as always, Neal Shusterman, go get his books. Just try one, and I think you will fall in love with his writing. I really do. So the next book is actually another Neal Shusterman book. It is Everlost, and it is part of his Skinjacker trilogy, book 1. So this book basically follows Nick and Allie. They were in a car crash and they didn't survive, and now their souls stuck in like a purgatory, and they have to figure out exactly excuse me, they have to figure out exactly how to survive this place, this sort of limbo called Everlost. And they aren't ready to be at peace yet, so they have to basically go deep into Everlost and try and find a way to get their lives back. But the deeper you go into this limbo, this Everlost, the farther and farther away your memories of who you were before, go. They disappear. So, looks like such a good book. Again, another just gripping synopsis by Neal Shusterman. So, I cannot wait to start this. So this book, I have absolutely no clue what it's about. I just purchased it because you have a $25 threshold you need to reach before free shipping, and it looked cool. So this is by Ada Rule, and it's called The Hidden Twin. And I don't necessarily want to read the synopsis of this just because I like going into some books blind. But like always, I will leave all of the books in the description of this video so that you guys can go and do your own research if you'd like. But at the top it says, a myth kept her a secret, but now the secret's out. So I'm hoping it has something to do with mythology, which any type of mythology, I will read that book. You've got me. Put in the comments below, please, if you have read any of these books, because I really, really, really love knowing I'm reading a book someone else has read and sharing our thoughts and everything once we're done reading them. So, okay, another book I know nothing about, and that is, I hope this is right, Magonia. I have seen this on BookTube, I'm pretty sure, because of the beautiful feather image with birds coming off the feather. You guys, this cover is so beautiful. I didn't know it'd be this pretty. So I'm just already happy that it's this pretty. This is by Maria Devana Headley. I do know this is basically about a girl who can't breathe. She's always had problems with her lungs. That kind of hooked me because I have asthma, so I was like, oh, okay, cool, let's see how they spin this. And basically one day she gets kidnapped and taken to a world above the clouds where she can breathe fully, and I believe there is some sort of war coming between Earth and the village in the clouds, so it seems really good. I'm gonna read it. So the next book in this box is The Savage Song by Victoria Schwab. This has been on BookTube. I want to read Victoria Schwab's A Darker Shade of Magic, but they didn't have it. I'm not sure if I'm going to read this book before I read that series, but if anybody has any advice on that, please leave it in the comments, because this book looks so good. This book looks so good, but I'm not 100% sure if I want to jump into some of her newer writing. I normally like reading authors' older writings and then working my way to like their newer stuff. The last book that was on my book outlet order was The Accident Season by Moray Fowley Doyle. Hope I'm saying that right. I don't want to read the synopsis of this, but I do know that this whole family is accident prone only in October. And it has to do with like some type of curse. And I heard it's supposed to be extremely like gripping and haunting. So I really wanted to try it. And yeah, I really hope it lives up to what I'm hyping it up to be in my head, because this was actually the reason I pressed this, and the Savage song were the reasons I pressed like purchase on my book outlet order. These were the guys I really wanted. Oh, and the Neil Shusterman books. Okay, I pressed purchase no matter what, but I was super excited to put this in my cart. Okay, so the next books I have are all from Half Price Books or the thrift store. I don't want to go through these super fast because I never like watching book hauls where I really don't know what the book is about. But if I think it's already been talked about a bunch on BookTube, I will try and go through it a little bit more quickly, just because I don't want you guys to hear the same synopsis of the book over and over and over. So I picked up Wool by Hugh Howey. I've heard it's a really epic dystopian novel, and if you guys have not like realized already, I love dystopian. I loved it when it was a craze, and I've never stopped loving dystopian. So one of my favorite book genres, so I'm hoping it'll be good. I know a bunch of people have read this. So the synopsis is, what would you do if the world outside was deadly and the air you breathed could kill? And you lived in a place where every birth required a death, and the choices you made could save lives or destroy them. It looks really good. The next book I have is The Glass Sword, or Glass Sword, by Victoria Aveyard. I just finished, I think 4 or 5 days ago, the first book in this series, so I don't necessarily want to tell you guys anything about it just because it is the second book in a series, but it's from the Red Queen series, and I can't even go into like this world. If you guys want me to leave a review, hopefully not spoiler filled, I'll try and film one of those. Leave it in the comments below, because I loved the Red Queen. And there were just so many things that happened that you didn't see coming, and anyway, Glass Sword. The next book is from an author I've raved about multiple times. This is Natasha Preston, and this is her book, The Cabin. I've already read The Cellar, Be Mine, and this will be my third book by her. This is about a weekend party in a remote cabin with a bunch of friends. Someone dies, and the 5 remaining people, I believe, 5 remaining survivors are looked to as possibly the culprit, but the thing is, the killing's not done yet, right? It's a thriller. She is the author that got me into thrillers, so yeah, it's about time I read some Kendar Blake. I picked up Anti-Goddess. I love anything Greek or Roman or even Egyptian mythology or their god hierarchy. So There's Athena in the synopsis. There's Hermes. There's Olympians. I've heard her writing is great and fantastic and also brutal, which I kind of look for. The brutality in a book, if you can like get it across to me in a certain way that actually is just like perfect, I think it's a better book for it. So, Anti-Goddess, Kendar Blake. So, the next book I purchased was from the thrift store, and it is called Beautiful Disasters by Jamie McGuire. Before I get into this, just real quick, my philosophy is if I'm trying a new genre I don't necessarily know if I'm going to like, or if I'm revisiting a genre I don't know if I necessarily am going to like, I always try and buy those books from a thrift store or from like half price books, clearance section, just someplace that I'm not going to feel super bad if I have to unhaul the books later. So yeah, this is Beautiful Disaster. It's basically like good girl, or reformed good girl trying to change her ways. So-called bad boy has to see if he can catch her and like, you know, make her his, and it just looks like a really cute, fluffy, you know, light but kind of like sensual romance story. So I thought I would give it a try. Okay, the next book I purchased from the thrift store is Deadly Time by R.L. Nolan. So, like I said, I'm getting into thrillers, and this book involves a mom from Texas. Love reading about books from my state, just because I think it adds like a little bit more geographical awareness. That makes sense. So this is about Ruth Butler. She's from Texas, but she illegally immigrates to England with her daughter because she's trying to escape her husband. It seems like he was just a horrible human being to her daughter and to her. And what happens when they get to England is her daughter actually gets kidnapped by somebody else who thinks that Ruth looks like his mother. And so he basically like is trying to lure Ruth to him by kidnapping her daughter, and she has to pair up with this detective inspector and find her daughter and get her back from this crazy guy. So it actually looks pretty good, and this book doesn't even look like it was read. The spine's not cracked, the pages are perfect. That was a good find at the thrift store. So this is Foreplay. It is a novella by Maya Banks and Shiloh Black. I read steamy romances, I read eroticas. If you guys ever want a video of my favorite eroticas, my favorite steamy romances, leave the request below for that video, just because I'm very proud I read these books. I love reading them. Most of the ones I read, if they don't have a good storyline, I can't get into them. So if you guys want some good recommendations, I got them. So the next book I got was Colorblind. This is by Kobe Marshall, and it says, where does evil lie on the color spectrum? This is supposed to be a Dr. Jenna Ramey novel, so I'm assuming there are more, but I believe this is the first one because on the synopsis it explains her power. So let me read the synopsis for you guys real quick. There's something unusual about Jenna Ramey's brain. A rare perceptual quirk that punctures her experiences with flashes of color. They're hard to explain. Red can mean anger or love or strength. But she can use these spontaneous mental associations, understand and interpret them enough to help her read people and situations in ways others cannot. As an FBI forensic psychiatrist, she is used it to profile and catch criminals. Years ago, she used it to save her own family from her charming psychopathic mother. Now the FBI has detained a mass murderer and called for Jenna's help. Upon interrogation, she learns that, behind bars or not, he holds the power to harm more innocents, and he is obsessed with gaining power over Jenna herself. She has a partner still on the loose. He has a partner still on the loose. And Jenna's unique mind, with its strange and subtle perceptions, may be all that can prevent a terrifying reality. This is the one I am most excited for. I've never heard of this book, and it just looks so cool because it has some type of aura reading power, or like, you know what I mean? It has some type of magical theme in it, but it's also a thriller, and it's also trying to, stop another mass murder. So it looks really good. Okay, you guys, I am gonna try not to squeak and squeal and flip out, but my last book to haul is Symbiont by Mira Grant. You guys, I've been waiting weeks for this book, and it is here, and it is the second book in the Parasitology trilogy. You guys, I'm going to be writing a review about Parasite. I hauled it in my last book haul. Mira Grant, if you don't know, is the adult pen name. It's Shauna Maguire's adult pen name. That's what I'm trying to say. So, yeah. I seriously am so excited. I can't even. Such a good book series, and I cannot wait to read this. It does have one last book, which is Chimera, that I need to order. So yeah, this is the best way to end the book haul. Eek! Okay, so that was the end of my book haul. I want to show you guys 3 books my fiance found because he's super proud of them, and I promised him I would put them in the book haul. So he found Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince, Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix, and Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. They were all $1.99, except this one was $2.99. We're super proud of finding that. We want to collect older Harry Potter books, and we also want to collect, we want to collect older Harry Potter books, and we also want to collect newer Harry Potter books. So, yes. My cat had to enter at the last moment. You just had to know what was going on. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you like. And I do have another book haul already out. I will leave that link in the description if you'd like to go watch it as well. I also have a newbie tag out if you want to get to know me a little bit more. Again, I'll leave it in the description. And thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you next time. Bye. Can you say bye? Hey.